Yo, what's good? Real Kens TV in the house like kitchen sinks. Hopefully you like the live. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action, this heat, this live, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. Now with no further ado, let's get into this live. Well, I guess semi get into this live. We gonna allow a couple people to get into the building. I really need to start posting when I'm gonna go live because people don't know. I just pop up and I'm live. Respectfully. Trying to get a couple things together on my tablet here. Real Kens TV at Yahoo. A lot of people, I'm not gonna necessarily say a lot of people, but I get a lot of questions. People ask me about prison, and I say, you know what? I'm gonna start going live more and more and answering the people's questions. You know, because people want to know about prison. By prison, there's nothing to there's nothing to glorify. The thing about prison, the thing about my channel is that I want to deter. I don't want young people to think that it's cool to go to prison. I don't want young people to think that, I go to prison, I get stripes. No, that's ignorant. Going to prison is ignorant. F prison t-shirts coming real soon. You know what I mean? Breathe. Breathe there. What was that supposed to mean, Mr. Skinner? But I don't want people to think that, oh man, I've been to prison, man. And I got my stripes. Going to prison is ignorant. And when I make these videos, I get a lot of subscribers on my short videos. But then I got these weirdos that jump on here and they don't watch the whole video, or if they do, I guess they can't comprehend because they say, oh, well, that's real cool. I'm sure you got proud parents. Or I'm sure that, they're acting as though I'm glorifying. What I'm trying to do is teach kids, young people, to stay away from prison, stay out of the streets, stay away from things that will potentially land you in prison. I'm not glorifying this. It's miserable. Think about it. Think about this. And I'm going to get into the first, I'm just trying to allow a couple people to enter the building. Think about this. You locked up. You can't see your kids. You can't see your family. You can't see your loved ones. You're around a bunch of men all day long. All day. You're around a bunch of men. Unless that's your preference, unless that's something that you want to do, who wants to be around a bunch of men all day long? I for certain don't. Definitely don't. But the first question of the day on my email, realkens.tv at Yahoo. Hell, you ain't even gotta think about me as this. 859-551-5122. 859-551-5122. That's legitimately my phone number. You don't have to email me. You call me, text me, however whichever way is more convenient for you. But first question of the day, Real Kens. How do you feel about a woman that waits for a man that's locked up in prison? Well, I'm quite sure I'm going to be biased towards that because I was locked up in prison 3 times. 3-time loser. Waiting on a man that's locked up in prison is it's very, very iffy. It's a slippery slope because there's a whole lot of factors that go into that. You don't really know, you can't really give one definitive answer. For instance, what was he doing when he was out? How many priors does he have? Was he taking care of home? Was he making money? A lot of people's out here just committing felonies, doing dumb stuff, and don't got a dollar or a dime to show for it. If my dude, not me, I'm speaking in the form of a young lady, if he has to go and do a 5-year prison sentence Out of those 5 years, how many years does he have to do? Does he got to do 5? Does he have to do 4? Different states have different laws. So that's not really a question that you can really, really answer. But what I would say to you, young lady, is evaluate how he treated the family. How was he towards you? How was he towards the kids? Did he come at home? Did he come home at night, or did you have to chase him down? Blow his phone up. He gone 3 or 4 days. And now all of a sudden he want to marry you because he's in prison. That's just something that, you just have to use common sense, kind of. Now, he's going to say everything that he can possibly say to you. He's going to tell you that he loves you. He's sorry for all the things that he did. He's an idiot. Evaluate the situation. Is he going to get out and go back to doing the same thing? If it's one of those things where he's hustling on the streets and he's been hustling on the streets for a long time, I would say move on with your life, man. Ain't no sense of hanging around with a person that's going to continue to do the same thing. Women, you all do prison time with the dude that's locked up. Yeah, he's in prison. He going to tell you, no, I'm doing all the time. Yeah, but you're doing the time with him. If you really, really love him and you're, trying to ride with him, you're doing the time with him. So, in most cases, I would say, don't ride with a dude that gets locked up. Go on about your life, man. But in some cases, I would say stick with him. Just depends on what the scenario is. You notice I got my Cincinnati Bengals hoodie on today. Only reason why is because I'm so disgusted with the Dallas Cowboys at this point. I'm no longer a Dallas Cowboys fan. I'm just an NFL fan. And I'm getting tired of that because it's so watered down. But I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the Cowboys. I'm sick of Jerry Jones. I'm sick of the Dallas Cowboys. I renounce my throne. I'm no longer a Dallas Cowboy fan. Johnny Cash says, Bimmy. The hell does that mean, Johnny? Bimmy 100. I guess it's a compliment, but what does that mean? Bimmy. Yeah, I was like, dang, what does that mean, Johnny? But I appreciate you, chiming in. Let me get to the next question, man. Johnny, we just reading questions while I'm answering questions. It's kind of like a Q&A. People send questions to my email, RealKensTV, Yahoo, and ask me different things, what have you, and I jump on here and I answer. What do you think about Vlad TV not allowing Fleece Johnson to come onto his platform and promote his book? That's crazy. Because I'm going to look him up, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to look him up, man. Thanks, Johnny. I appreciate the sub. I'm definitely going to look him up because I didn't know what you were talking about. I was Bimmy. But I get told that all the time, man. You look just like his person. But Vlad TV are not allowing Fleece Johnson. If you don't know who Fleece Johnson is, just Google him. He was the dude on MSNBC years ago that said, if I want you, I'm going to have you. We can do this the easy way. We can do it the hard way. Check his channel out. Hustler Spirit 502, featuring Fleece Johnson and Big Lee. 65 miles up the road, 64 miles up the road or whatever, out of Louisville, Kentucky. I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. And a lot of people have Fleece Johnson misconstrued, if you will. When he did that interview, it was like, I don't have anything to lose. I'm sure they greased his palms a little bit, say the worst possible things you can say. And Fleece went on to say that they told me to say the worst possible things I could say to keep the kids from coming to prison. It was like a scare straight program. I never met Fleece Johnson. I've never met Big Lee. Big Lee, we've been in contact. Eventually we're gonna get together and do something, But my thing is this: their channel is kind of like way up here, and I'm kind of, a few notches below them, because they have a lot of subscribers. They have a lot of, so you can't just go and do something with a channel that has 80, 90, 100,000, 300,000 subs when you only have a couple subs. What's up, Andre? Andre Hayes. Andre's in the house, like kitchen sinks. But I think that Fleece Johnson is a heck of a guy, man. I do. I think that he's come so far. He's overcome, so many obstacles in his life. Just imagine being sent to prison at 15 years old. That's how old he was when he originally got sent to prison. He didn't do nothing but steal some cars. I don't even understand why he got sentenced as an adult. He didn't do nothing but steal some cars. Now, don't get me wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. You can't just go around here just stealing people's cars, stealing people's, belongings, valuable belongings. So it's wrong. But you send him to prison with a 10-year prison bid, and the 10 years, he ends up doing 40 years. And he comes home and he's resilient. He's resilient. A lot of things in prison you all don't understand if you've never been to prison. House of Love, Corey, keep grinding. You keep getting suggested to me. You be up there soon. Hey, the stairs, not an elevator. I'm going to ride the turtle, man. Pause. Double pause. Double pause. Triple pause. I shouldn't even said that. You know what I mean? But good looking House of Love, Corey. It takes time. I can't be up there with the guys that have all those subs. I've only had my channel for 10 months. So ultimately, I feel as though I'm going to get there because I keep it 100% genuine. I don't make up no stories. I don't come on here and try to sound good or talk bad about people or anything. I just keep it 100, man. That's what I do. But, when you're in a situation, as I was, previously mentioning, Fleece Johnson, man, he was in prison, and there's a whole lot of racism going on. There's a whole lot of things that you sentence a man to 23 years in a hole, in which he did 12 years. This man did 12 years flat in the hole. No TV, no phone. Every once in a while he get a phone call. But see, when you're in the hole, they do weird stuff. They do weird stuff like give you your phone call at 2 o'clock in the morning. Who the hell you gonna call at 2 o'clock in the morning? You don't get no visitors. Maybe once a month. I don't know how it was for Fleece back then. It's just terrible. So I feel as though he's resilient. I have nothing but respect for Fleece. Hustler Spirit 502, featuring Fleece Johnson and Big Lee. That's my answer. That's my response to the Fleece Johnson situation. Let's see. What's the next? I got a lot of questions here, so I try to. Real Kens, you always talk about not speaking to the police in interrogation rooms. Don't you think that that's sending out a negative response to the people? Listen. I spoke on this last night when I went live. I'm going to say it once. I've said it once. I'm going to say it twice, and I'm going to continue to say it. The police is not your friends. However, there are certain situations to where they will help you out. If you're having a problem or somebody breaks into your house or this happens or that happens, I understand. But if you find yourself in an interrogation room, understand the surroundings. Understand I'm here for a reason. The best thing you can possibly do is just ask for an attorney, man. It's not that hard. Ask for an attorney. because they're going to twist your words around. Even if you never did anything, even if you're falsely accused, even if, they have you weigh like, ho, I did this, but I didn't do. Ask for an attorney, man. That's all you have to do. Because the more you talk, guess what? You're digging a hole that's deeper and deeper. They want you to say something that's going to incriminate yourself. I'm not trying to teach bad guys how to get off the hook. And a lot of people have me misconstrued. I'm just simply saying asking for an attorney is a constitutional right. Ask for an attorney, man. Allow your attorney to do the work. That's why they charge you all the money that they charge you. That's it. Just ask for an attorney, man. It's not that hard. Let's see. I'm just reading down questions for you all that are just kind of, jumping in and out or tuning in or whatever. People send me questions at realkens.tv@yahoo.com. And so I'm kind of doing like a Q&A and just answering questions. That's it. Just answering the viewers' questions and showing my appreciation for the people that do tune in to my channel, man, because it's greatly, greatly appreciated. I'm not going to get on here and feed you no BS. I'm not going to make up prison stories. There's a lot of prison stories I never told because I can't just tell them all at once. But it's what it is. Real Kens, have you ever ran across a racist correction officer in prison? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's all type of racist correction officers, racist police, racist wardens, racist people that's at the top of the food chain that are in control. Now, not all of them, but yeah, I have. You know how many times I've heard officers use the N-word? 2008, Obama was elected. I was in an all-white jail. Maybe 300 inmates, 11 to 12 blacks, if that. F that in. Like, it was just crazy. Once they announced that Obama actually won the election, the COs, the correction officers, they was laughing. They was, yeah. A lot of these jails are racist. But what they do is, it's all about bed space. So they'll send you to the most racist jails that there are. It don't matter. It don't matter that it's only one other black person there. You're going to go where you go. And it's going to be hell to pay when you get there. Me, I never really had a lot of problems. I had some fights. I definitely had some fights in jail. But it was just like people I never really had a problem because I can get along with, people kind of gravitated towards me. So it was just like, all right, man. But you got to stand your ground. Stand your ground and be a man and just kind of hold your own. And everything will be okay, regardless of where you go to. Let's see. Real Kens, what do you think about the P. Diddy situation? P. Diddy, I think he's just getting what he deserves. For years, P. Diddy was a jerk. He was a jerk to people. He's made millions of dollars for so many years, so he felt as though he could just talk to people however he wanted to talk to them. Now it's all coming back. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button at least. At least hit the like button for me. You know what I mean? Subscribe. If you're not already subscribed, at least hit the like button for me. Share it for me, Let's help get Real Kens TV 859 out there, man. You know what I mean? It takes a village, man. I can't do it all by myself. But, I think P. Diddy's ultimately going to end up in prison unless he runs. Whoever hit that like button, man, I appreciate you. But yeah, I think ultimately P. Diddy's going to end up in prison. I mean, because he's done the most over the years. Like, you can't just treat people like dirt. You can't just go through life thinking that because you have all the money, all the power, that you can just treat people any type of way. So now people's coming out. I don't even believe half the people that's coming out, to be honest. But I think it's karma. I think it's karma. Like a lot of people that's saying, well, P. Diddy touched me, or he messed with a underage girl, or he did this. Some of that stuff he probably didn't even do. Probably the majority of it he didn't do, but he treated people like dirt. And when you treat people like dirt, guess what happens? So now, you know what I mean? He's dealing with it. You reap what you sow. Lisa, do you love me? Are you riding? Don't you ever leave, because I need you. Thank you for the sub. You know what I mean? I definitely appreciate it. But yeah, P. Diddy, ultimately he's gonna end up with R. Kelly. And speaking of R. Kelly, nobody asked me a question about R. Kelly, but let's speak about R. Kelly. I think he's gonna get out. Probably within the next, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years. R. Kelly's gonna see the streets again because they overcharged him. Oftentimes what prosecutors do, they overcharge you. Instead of charging you for the proper thing that you should be charged with, they'll overcharge you, and then you'll get convicted, and then you have money to go and get, a nice legal firm. He has Bill Cosby's lawyers on the case working his appeal. R. Kelly is definitely, you remember that I said it, R. Kelly would definitely get out of prison. I'm not saying that I agree with what he did. I'm not saying any of these things. Do I think that he deserves the time that he got in the feds? Absolutely not. 30-something years in the feds? Come on, man. I definitely don't agree with that. But he deserves to get some time, a significant amount of time. He's been locked up for several years now, and he's going to do, several more years. But R. Kelly will eventually make it out of prison. That's just my opinion on it. But yeah, P. Diddy, his days are numbered, man. He better do what Russell Simmons did and go on over to Dubai or Egypt or wherever country he's in, because they coming for Russell Simmons. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. But they definitely coming for him. And when they get him, they're just going to pile it on. Like they did R. Kelly. Just continuously pile it on. Next question. Real Kens, what do you think about Jay Williams? Wow, I keep getting the same questions. I answered a lot of these questions last night, but I'll answer them again. Jay Williams, Let's Live Life. And we're back. That's my dude. That's what I think about him. That's my dude. If you're not familiar with Jay Williams, he's the reason that I started my YouTube channel. Jay Williams, Let's Live Life. If you're not familiar, go check him out. Probably the hottest, in my opinion, the hottest YouTuber on planet Earth. They love him. He speaks about his experiences. He don't talk bad about anyone. He doesn't really talk about anyone else's situations but his own. I rocks with Jay Williams. Hey, Jay, if you happen to see his video, man, I hit you the other day, man. Hit me back, man. But now, unfortunate situation that he's dealing with. But I think that under the conditions, it came out like 1 year, to serve 1 year is the best scenario that he could possibly get. Other than the case being thrown out. But, in these Commonwealth states, it's just not going to happen. So, yeah, I think it was a great situation. It wasn't a great situation. So let me rewind that. I'm gonna rewind on live. I'm the first person that can rewind on live TV. It was a situation that was unfortunate, but at the same time, under those conditions and circumstances, I believe that him getting a year is the best thing that, it wasn't going to get any better than that. He got a year. He has to serve about 7 months. He'll be back home later on this year, and everything's going to be cool. Doing time is terrible. I understand. You're going to be away from his kids, his family, but it gives you time to reflect. It gives you time to appreciate life. It gives you time to really, really understand all the things that you took for granted, and he'll be right back. That's all I can say about the Jay Williams situation. Solid dude, man. Solid, man. Like, I talked to him on the phone. He texts me sometimes. Hey, how you doing, Real Kens, man? Just, we got to get you a live, man. We going to do a live, but I let him know, like, look, Jay, you got it from the mud. I'm trying to get it from the mud. I'll do it live with you. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna benefit from it more than you're gonna benefit from it. But I'll do it live with you. But that's not really what this is about, man. I'm just a genuine individual, man, and I'm not trying to use anybody or use anybody's name or piggyback off anybody. So I guess in a sense I am, because I'm bringing his name up. But hell, who don't do that on YouTube? Respectfully. But y'all hit that like button for me, man. Y'all make sure y'all share my video for me. I've been on YouTube now for about 10 months, going on 11. Still learning the game. And there's certain things that I'm not really privy to, but I'm still learning. But in the meanwhile, you all help me. Help me, help me. Only thing you gotta do is hit the like and the share button. That's it. That's all I'm asking, man. You know what I mean? Let me see. What's the next question here? Real Kens, have you ever seen anyone get, I can't use that word on YouTube, so I'll say graped. Have you ever seen anyone get graped while in prison? No. Never have. I've never, like, in prison, a lot of times we watch these documentaries, we watch these older movies, and we see a lot of these things that have taken place. And I'm sure in certain places they do take place. But most of the time, people in prison that are partaking, if you will, in those activities, they do it because they want to do it. They're not forced to do it. Does it ever happen? I'm sure it does. But I've never witnessed anything like that. Never would want to witness anything like that. I've never walked in on anything like that. So I just think that that's just like, it's terrible, man. It's terrible that people have to go through stuff like that. But when you break the law, guess what? You put yourself in a scenario and in a situation to where it comes along with it. Real Kens, people always talk about the wins they had in prison. Have you ever lost a fight in prison? Have I ever lost a fight in prison? Yes. Yes, I've lost a fight in prison. And when I say prison, it's all the same. Prison, jail. Yeah. I've lost. But at the end of the day, do you really lose? Think about it. If you're in prison and someone puts their hands on you, or they attempt to put their hands on you, or they try to take something from you, and you fight back, and let's just say he gets the best of you, ultimately nobody loses, because guess what? As long as you fight back and you show that you're not just gonna allow anyone to do anything to you, you get respect. People respect that. But when you're a pushover and a person is just like, can just come and take your commissary and come and just, disrespect you, pat you on your butt. Yeah, that does happen. Jump in front of you on the phone. Because in prison, you got a line. So, like, to get in, waiting to get on the phone, there's a line. Maybe 4 or 5 people ahead of you, or more, or less. But if somebody just comes and jumps in front of you when you're going to get on the phone and you allow that, guess what? Everybody's going to do it to you. Same thing with the showers. So, have I ever taken a loss in prison, physically, in a fight? Yeah. Dude got the best of me a couple times. I won some, lost some. Some days chicken, some days feathers. But I fought. I was good, and everything was all good, man. People respected me, man. I've been in a lot of prisons in Kentucky. I ain't no rat. I ain't never been no rat. So when I walk in, man, chin up, head up, chin up, man. You see what I'm saying? Not the toughest dude in the world. I'm not the weakest dude in the world either. I'm going to stand up for mine. And I'd advise that anybody that has to go do a prison bid understand that. When you go in, you don't got to be the toughest dude in the world. You just go in and hold your own, man. Even if they jump you, 4 or 5 dudes, guess what? Go down swinging. Go down swinging. But if you go down and you not even trying and you not, man, you got to go down swinging. Prison's a dirty game, man. Ain't no rules in prison. Ain't no honor in prison. I've seen people come in and take people, like, they give you lockers in prison. Back at this particular facility I was at, they had lockers. It was maybe, I don't know, 3 feet high. People would just go in and grab your whole locker and walk off. You gonna let them just take your whole locker? Your locker has your commissary, your valuable items, all of these things. This is gonna take them. You gonna let them? Some people do. And those are the guys that have a really, really tough time in prison, man. Not me. Nah, not me. You ain't taking nothing. You're not taking nothing from me. In prison, on the streets is a little different because, you know, somebody got a gun and it's different, but you're not taking nothing. Hey, Pat, 2 days in a row. Yeah, I'm trying to get used to this live thing. You know, I typically don't go live, but we're going to start going live one time for you, man. You feel me? I'm just doing a Q&A tonight, you know, just answering questions. People send me questions to my email, you know, RealKensTV at Yahoo, and just answering questions, you know. Let's see what the next question is. Real Kens, are your stories made up? People channels on YouTube, prison channels, they have to keep people tuned in. You know, they have to keep people coming back. Lisa asked, did you make any real friends in prison that you keep in contact with? Give me just a second, Lisa. I'm gonna answer that question for you. But I don't make up any stories. Anything that I talk about, any stories that I tell, guess what? It happened. I can't tell you any stories to where I seen a dude pick another 60-pound man up and throw him over a tier, 5-story tier. I can't tell you that because I didn't see that. I can't tell you a story to where I seen a dude get shanked 37 times. I can't tell you that. I can only tell you what I've been through. The 10 calendar years that I did in prison, which I'm not proud of, I can't, you know, I can only keep it real. And let these kids know that that's not the way to go. You definitely don't want to go that route. Lisa asked me, did I make any real friends in prison that I still keep in contact with? You know what? Some of my best buddies now, I don't have a lot, I met in prison. For the simple fact that when you go to prison, people leave you. Your so-called friends, you don't hear anything from them. And it's so easy to get in contact with people now. You know, it's so easy. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate it. I'm gonna have to come to Houston and see you. Well, you're in Texas. I don't know if you're in Houston, but I know you're in Texas, and I have to come see you. You know, respectfully, of course. But you'll meet dudes in prison, and you can't become friends with everybody in prison because some people, I've seen situations to where, I'm gonna give you a story. You know what? The question you asked me, I'm gonna give you a story, Lisa. There was an individual. They were both from the same, you know, I'm in Lexington, Kentucky, home of the UK Wildcats. So they knew each other on the streets. They never really hung around each other, but they knew each other on the streets. And one dude was solid. The other dude was kind of shady. So the solid dude, he gets out. But the shady dude had a problem with the solid dude because it was over a woman. And he felt as though he had tried to holler at his girl. Now, when I say his girl, I mean the shady dude had a problem with the solid dude because he felt as though he tried to holler at his girl behind his back prior to them ever going to prison. So he really had a problem with him. But in prison, man, they was together every day. Cool. ate together. When I say ate together, you go to commissary, you get this, you get that, fix a meal, you break bread, you eat together, worked out together, walked the yard together. Everything was cool. But all along, the shady dude was plotting to rob the other dude. Because the other dude, he was getting his money on the streets or what have you. And, when he came home, he ended up robbing him. He robbed him. That was supposed to be your guy. He robbed him. So you really have to watch yourself, but you have to watch yourself everywhere. It's not just, in prison, but you really, really have to, um, okay, I'm going to hold you to that. I'm going to hold you to that, Pat. But you really have to watch yourself when you make friends in prison. But for the most part, like myself, I got a couple buddies, man, that I'm still cool with to this day. We don't really hang out, but we talk, we communicate or whatever. But man, it's a lot of good people in prison. A lot of people feel as though, oh man, you in prison, you not this, you not that, you must have been, a really bad person. Let me make you all understand this that have never been through the prison system. Prison is a business, like damn near anything else. So locking people up creates revenue. It creates income for somebody. You got private prisons. You own a private prison. The state pays you so much money per day to house these inmates. So you got 1,500 beds. The state is going to pay you, let's just say, I'm going to just come up with a figure, $100 a day for each inmate. Well, you got 1,500 people because the prison is going to stay full. $15,000 a day that you're being paid to house these inmates. So what's that? 15,000 a day, 30 days in a month. You do the math. What's that? 450,000, 15,000 a day, 450,000 a month. Now you got to pay the COs, you got to pay the nurses, you got to pay the staff, you got to pay everything, your expenses, your rent, whatever. But after you pay that, the ultimate goal, like any other business, is to run this business and have as much left over as you possibly can. They feed you like crap. But then there's other ways that they make money off commissary. They make a killing off commissary. You'd be surprised at how much it's really like price gouging. I don't understand how they get away with it. A deodorant that may cost you, I don't know. I wear Degree deodorant. So I wear the bigger sticks, double paws. But I wear the larger size deodorants to where you can get two of them for about, I don't know, $7, $8 out here, roughly. In there, they're going to sell you a small Degree deodorant. Last time I was in there, they were $5 or $4.85. And I ain't been in prison in 5-6 years. Well, yeah, it's been years. So there's no telling what they're selling. And they buy it in bulk, so they're getting it much cheaper. But there's no telling what they're selling, like deodorant, soap. Everything that they say, anything you can get out here on the streets, guess what? In prison, you can get. It's going to be twice as high. Ramen noodles. What you get, 6 for $1 now? 6 for $1.20, something like that. In prison, like when I left, they was 50 cents. In certain jails, that was $1.25. For one ramen noodle, $1.25, man. So they make a killing in prison. It's just one of those things, man. The best way to avoid that is staying out of prison. But prison is definitely for profit, especially the private ones. You go out here and pick up trash on the road. Guess what? The county's getting billed for that. You pick up dead deer, cans, weed eating the side of the roads, cutting grass. Guess what they give you in prison for that? Guess. I work all day long, 8 hours, going out here to mow yards and, mow hills and weed eat side of hills, and I'm going to make $25, maybe $30 a month. Maybe. But they're going to build the county as though they had actual workers, $15, $16 an hour. So it's definitely a business. What's up, JV? JV's in the house. Jason V, man. He got a son, man. Congratulations. His son, Trey, a freshman, made it all the way to the state, finals or, what have you. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Y'all go check his channel out, man. Jason V. That's my dude, man. It's one of my biggest, probably my biggest supporter, man. He reminds me, I done jumped all off subject when I seen Jason V on there. He reminds me of just kind of one of those things where he's just telling me, slow down, man. I know you, just slow down, man. Steady. It's coming. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be up there, but just, you got to go through the rigmaroles and, so I understand him, and I definitely, shout out to you, Jason, man. I definitely appreciate you, man. Just telling people, just doing a Q&A. People's asking me questions, Real Kens TV and Yahoo rather, and just answering people's questions, That's what we doing tonight. But yeah, prison is definitely for profit. I jumped way off the train tracks or what have you. So, and that's not to say, don't get me wrong, accountability first. A lot of people that are in prison I deserve to be in prison. I definitely did. I did wrong. I ain't killed nobody. I ain't robbed nobody. See, my mentality was, a lot of people that may not know, I was a white collar type criminal. I did some, I put my hoodie on from time to time, but I'm saying for the most part, I told myself that, you know what, as long as I'm not harming anyone, as long as I justified it to myself. But at the end of the day, I was still a criminal. I feel as though I'm taking from banks. I feel that I figured out ways to, instead of taking a gun in there, I'm going to finesse and finagle this money out of you all. And, it caught up with me. That's what I did. When I the time, and I'm not bragging about this, and, I can tell the story now because, and I've done my time, but there was one particular credit union that, and again, I've already confessed to this, done time or what have you, and I would say never do this. I'm not trying to get people to follow the footsteps that I actually, was in. But it was a credit union, man, right around Christmas time, years and years ago. Me personally, I hit them out of $80,000 in 3 or 4 days. Now, it wasn't me just by myself. It was other people and other, and the feds. They tried to pick my case. Well, they didn't try to pick my case up. The state sent my case to the feds, and the feds didn't want it because it was a lack of evidence. But I'm just simply saying, when I was doing my thing, it was money involved. I wasn't doing anything, $5,000-$6,000. No. But looking back, I regret that. Man. I was never got in trouble as a juvenile. Never. I ain't have no juvenile record. Came out of high school, went to Kentucky State University, played football. Should have been playing baseball, but I was hard. I was a knucklehead or whatever, and I didn't start getting in trouble until in my 20s because life hit me. Responsibility. I got sick, ended up dropping out of school. No victim statements, nothing like that. Ended up having to drop out of college after 2 years, and life hit me. Responsibility hit me. I had a kid. I had a child. I had and instead of doing things the way that I was taught to do, how I was raised to do, I went and left. That's why I hate when people say, oh, man, it's the parents' fault. It's not always the parents' fault, man. I was raised very, very, very well. In church every week. Had to go to church on Sundays. Had to go to church on Wednesdays. Subject to go on Friday. Like, my mother made sure that, but I came from a single-parent home, and it wasn't my mother's fault that, when I was 22, 23 years old, I decided to be a knucklehead and go out here and do the things that I knew that I shouldn't have been doing. No. That was my fault. So I'm not going to blame anybody else but myself. Accountability, man. That's the number one thing that you learn when you're in prison, and the key to keeping you out of prison. Take accountability, man. Hold yourself responsible. It's nobody else's fault but your own, man. It's your own fault. I spoke on it last night on my live where I was talking about how many mannerable kids that you see in prison, 22, 23 years old, 19, 20. Yes, sir, no, sir. They're very, very mannerable. But then when you look up, this dude done shot 4 people, 3 people. Why? Because he was influenced by the streets. You know, yes, yes, you can, Miss Pat, be a moderator, but I'm not exactly, I really get a whole lot of, views at this point on my lives. But yeah, you can be, definitely can. We can work that out. But there's a lot of mannerable people in prison. They just didn't have anyone to teach them. What's up? What's up, TB? I appreciate you, man. Terry Brown's in the house. A lot of people in prison, they didn't have a lot of people. That's why I respect like people like Jason V so much, because he's such a intricate part of his son and his beautiful daughter's life. He's there. He's with them, hands on. You can buy your kids Jordans. You can buy them this. You can buy them that. You can give them money. But guess what? It really doesn't even matter if you're not there. Kids don't have, a lot of these kids, they don't have a father that taught them how to tie a tie, how to change the oil in a car, how to check the oil, rather. Not even change the oil, how to check the oil, how to change a tire, how to, cut the grass. I've ran across kids that don't even know how to cut the grass, don't know how to weed eat. They don't have anybody to show them how to paint, how to frame a house, how to brick a house, how to put the foundation up, how to just uh, fix a car, how to cut hair. They don't have any skills, none. So then when they're 17, 18 years old, if not younger, they find themselves in the streets. And later on in life, guess what? They have no skills, none. They don't know how to do anything but sell dope. You know, that's what they know. I'm gonna interrupt what I'm saying. Midnight train. What prison in Kentucky did you go to? Shoot, North Point. I was at Green River. I was at Lee County. And in Kentucky, they don't always send you to prison. They'll send you. I was at Blackburn, and they'll send you sometimes to a county jail. So I was in all type of county jails, man. Not proud of it, but that's just what it was. But like I was saying, these kids, they don't have any. They don't have a father figure to show them. Again, it's not an excuse. But a lot of us, we don't have a father in the house. You know, it's sad, but we don't have a father. Mother, she's working 2, 3 jobs just to keep a roof over our head, keep food in the refrigerator. Have you ever lived? I didn't even know this until really recently, to be honest. No, I mean, nights I sit in the house and we had to use the kitchen stove for heat in the house. I didn't even know it was carbon monoxide. I didn't even know that there was a dangerous situation. I ain't never had no cable coming up. And that's a luxury. You know, sometimes your mother may have a car, sometimes she may not have a car, depending on what's going on. I had to quit soccer. I was playing soccer at the age of 5 years old. I played soccer all the way from 5 to 12. It was very, very good. I had to quit soccer at 12 years old. Why? Because I didn't have anybody to get me back and forth to soccer practice. There was no father in the house. My dad, I've forgiven him. He since passed. I forgave him. I told him how I felt, and we became cool. But I didn't have a father in the house. So when I see certain things, when I see people that are instrumental in their kids' lives, it touches me because I didn't have it. My mother did the best she could do. So That's why I'm so instrumental. That's why I feel the way that I feel, and I want these kids to understand. I want them to understand that I understand, but the streets is not the way. It's not. The streets don't love you. You know, yesterday when I did my live, and y'all have to excuse me, I just get a little, I did a live yesterday, and I had a t-shirt on. I had a hoodie on, and you can go back and look at it. And it had my nephew. It had my nephew's name on the hoodie. 2 years ago, a little bit over 2 years ago, actually, because this is March, so a few days before Christmas, maybe the 17th, 18th of December, his mother, my sister, she was out Christmas shopping. Years old. She's out Christmas shopping, and she's in the checkout line, and she gets a call, but she's trying to pay for her things or whatever, so she's not answering the call. But the phone continues to ring, and it rings 3 or 4 times, and she notices it's from the same number. So she's answering the phone like, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm busy right now. I think you need to stop what you're doing." His name was Devin. Devin's been shot. So she drops everything in the dropout and in the checkout line, drops everything, runs out of the store, rushes home. When she gets home, police is everywhere. They won't allow her to go to the front of the house because it's an investigation scene. So they have like the yellow tape or whatever. Everything's marked off. So she goes to the back of the house. They allow her to come into the back of the house. When she goes to the back of the house, she's trying to, see what's going on. So it's just like TV. She's fighting to get to the front of the house. And she's excuse me. Sees her son laying there, blood splattered all over the wall. He'd been shot, dead on the scene. She's screaming. They won't allow her to go to get to their son, their child. He's at home. Somebody comes to the front door. He opens the door. It's a girl, a young lady. He's speaking with her. He's talking to her. Next thing you know, a dude comes out of nowhere. Evidently, he must have knew the dude that came out of nowhere. So they're sitting there talking. All of this is captured on the Ring doorbell. So they're talking. dude goes back to the car. He's continuing to talk to the young lady. That's what the blood just. That's why the blood was all over the wall. She had to clean all that up. Imagine cleaning the house that you live in. See, that's what I say. These youngsters, a lot of these young people, if you want to do something to someone, you should do anything to anyone anyway. Man, that killed him when she walks to that front door, knowing that when I walked through the foyer of this house, this is where my son was laying at, and the blood was spattered all over the wall. We had to clean it up, mop it up. Well, I'm so passionate about like young people just really, really getting in the penitentiary. 3 o'clock in the morning, a little young dude, 21 years, he realized that, you know, everything that he had on the outside is no longer. He's never going home. Why? Because he wanted to play with guns and pistols and be out here on the streets when you don't even have to be, man. You don't got to do it. I know everybody don't have a father. Sometimes you're able to, you know, get a father figure. I got a couple kids that not biologically mine, and my god kids or whatever. Guess what? I'm there for them on the basketball go today. Just our kids. Be there for your kids, man. If you out here, this is not TV. This is real life situations, man. You was raised by stuff is fake. Don't even matter, man. Get you a trade, go to school, learn how to cut hair. If you don't want to go to college, to do something. If you go join the fire department at 21 or police department. As much as I don't Real Kids TV. I appreciate you all. Emotional. It got a little emotional, you know, but knowing your child is laying there lifeless with blood everywhere on the wall. I don't want to try to, you know, be too graphic or you know, give anything like that. But when you out there living that life by the sword, you die by the sword, man. You know? So